The world watched in horror. Dust and debris filled the air. The Twin Towers, once symbols of American might, crumbled into a heap of rubble. The Pentagon, the heart of American defense, bore the scars of a fiery attack. September 11th, 2001, forever etched itself into the global consciousness. A day when terror struck at the very heart of America. Mesa, Arizona, a world away from the smoldering ruins of Ground Zero, seemed a picture of tranquility. Yet, even here, the aftershocks of 9/11 reverberated. Balbir Singh Sodhi, a Sikh immigrant, became an unwitting victim of a nation grappling with its wounds. Known for his infectious smile and generosity, Balbir had built a life for his family in Mesa. On September 15th, 2001, just 4 days after the attacks, Balbir was tending to the flowers outside his gas station. He had no way of knowing that his life was about to be tragically cut short. He became a target, not for who he was, but for what someone else believed him to be. His turban, a symbol of his Sikh faith, was mistaken for a marker of the enemy. In that moment, Balbir Singh Sodhi became a symbol of the tragic consequences of unchecked hate. His life, woven into the fabric of his adopted homeland, was ended by ignorance. Balbir's story is a stark reminder of the devastating human cost of prejudice. Balbir Singh Sodhi's story began in Punjab, India. Born into a Sikh family, he learned compassion, service, and justice from a young age. These values shaped his life and interactions with the world. Like many immigrants, Balbir dreamed of a better life. He saw America as the land of hope and freedom. With courage and determination, he embarked on a journey across continents. The journey was arduous, but Balbir faced each obstacle with unwavering determination. He arrived in America, ready to work tirelessly to achieve his dreams. He carried with him the hopes and aspirations of his family. America welcomed Balbir with open arms. He embraced his new home, eager to contribute to American society. His journey was a testament to his resilience and spirit. Balbir's story is shared by countless immigrants seeking refuge and opportunity. Balbir wasted no time in turning his dreams into reality. He understood that the American dream demanded hard work and sacrifice. He took on odd jobs, his hands calloused from labor. Each dollar earned was a stepping stone to a better future. His entrepreneurial spirit led him to the world of business. He poured his savings into a gas station in Mesa, Arizona. The gas station became a symbol of his success. Customers were greeted with his warm smile and genuine desire to help. He treated everyone with respect and kindness. His reputation as an honest businessman grew. Balbir's life was a testament to the American dream. He built a life for his family, brick by brick. His success reflected his character and determination. Balbir's generosity was boundless. He believed in giving back to the community that embraced him. His Sikh faith taught him the importance of selfless service. He never hesitated to lend a helping hand. When tragedy struck on September 11th, Balbir was deeply affected. He decided to donate a portion of his gas station's earnings to the families of the 9/11 victims. It was a gesture that spoke volumes about his character. His generosity was a reflection of his deep-seated empathy. Little did he know that this act of kindness would be one of his last. His generosity became a poignant reminder of the senselessness of the tragedy. Balbir's life was a testament to the power of unity in the face of adversity. The attacks on September 11th left an indelible mark on America's psyche. Fear became a palpable presence, seeping into everyday life. The enemy, as depicted by the media, was amorphous and undefined. Television screens flickered with images of devastation. News anchors spoke of threats, fueling the flames of anxiety. The fear manifested in myriad ways. Airport security lines stretched longer than ever before. Suspicion clouded once ordinary interactions. The very fabric of American society seemed to fray at the edges. The enemy could be anyone, anywhere. The lines between vigilance and paranoia blurred, creating a climate of fear and suspicion. In the aftermath of the attacks, hatred began to take root. It was a visceral, unreasoning hatred, fueled by a need to pinpoint the source of pain. The enemy, as portrayed by some, wore a particular face and practiced a particular faith. This dangerous narrative found fertile ground in the hearts of those consumed by fear. Turbans were mistaken for markers of the enemy. Beards became suspect. The color of one's skin and the sound of one's language became targets of suspicion. This toxic brew of fear and ignorance had a devastating impact on communities. Hate crimes surged across the nation. The values of tolerance and diversity were under attack. Fear and hatred eroded the very essence of American society. In Mesa, Arizona, Frank Roque seethed with anger and resentment. The attacks on September 11th ignited a firestorm within him. Roque, a 42-year-old aircraft mechanic, had always been seen as an outsider. His life, marked by instability, left him searching for someone to blame. The events of 9/11 provided him with a convenient scapegoat. He embraced the hateful narrative that painted all Muslims as terrorists. Fueled by prejudice and fear, Roque convinced himself he was on a righteous mission. He saw himself as a soldier in a holy war. His distorted worldview, warped by hatred, would have tragic consequences. Balbir Singh Sodhi became the target of Roque's misguided rage. September 15th, 2001. The Arizona sun beat down on Mesa. Life, in the aftermath of the attacks, seemed to carry on with a newfound fragility. For Balbir Singh Sodhi, it was a day much like any other. He woke up before dawn, the smell of chai filling his home. He donned his turban, a symbol of his Sikh faith. He kissed his wife and children goodbye. His gas station awaited him, a testament to his hard work. As he unlocked the doors, the familiar scent of gasoline greeted him. Customers stopped by for fuel, their brief interactions with Balbir a reminder of normalcy. He went about his day with diligence, his spirit unbroken. He helped customers, his smile as warm as the Arizona sun. He had no way of knowing that this ordinary day would be his last. Balbir's routine was a quiet resilience in a world clouded by fear. His life, a testament to the American dream, was about to be tragically cut short. The afternoon heat hung heavy in the air. Balbir stepped outside his gas station to tend to the flowers. Their vibrant colors brought him a sense of peace. Unbeknownst to Balbir, a storm of hate was brewing. Frank Roque, consumed by rage, set out on a mission of revenge. He gripped the steering wheel of his pickup truck, his eyes burning with intensity. He spotted Balbir, his turban a beacon of faith. The truck screeched to a halt. Balbir, startled by the noise, turned towards the truck. 5 shots rang out, shattering the afternoon calm. The sound echoed through the air. Balbir, his body riddled with bullets, crumpled to the ground. His lifeblood stained the pavement. The vibrant flowers trampled underfoot. The sound of gunfire ripped through the air. Witnesses watched in disbelief as Balbir Singh Sodhi lay dying. Frank Roque sped away from the scene, but Roque's rampage was far from over. His thirst for vengeance transformed him into a monster. He drove through the streets of Mesa, his pickup truck a weapon. He targeted anyone who fit his warped perception of the enemy. At a nearby convenience store, he fired shots at a Lebanese clerk. The clerk narrowly escaped death. Roque continued his reign of terror. He stopped at a house, its inhabitants unknown to him. He fired shots into the home, terrorizing a family who had nothing to do with the attacks. As the sun began its descent, casting long shadows across the city of Mesa, the news of Balbir Singh Sodhi's murder spread like wildfire, igniting a firestorm of grief, anger, and disbelief. Friends, family, and customers gathered at the gas station, their faces etched with sorrow, their voices heavy with tears, struggling to comprehend the senseless act of violence that had taken the life of a man so full of life, so dedicated to his community. The vibrant flowers Balbir had been tending to just moments before lay trampled and dying. A poignant reminder of the fragility of life and the devastating consequences of unchecked hate. Candles flickered in the growing darkness, casting dancing shadows on the faces of those who mourned, their flickering flames a testament to the enduring spirit of the man they had lost. The Sikh community, their faith shaken to its core, grappled with the realization that their turbans, once symbols of peace and devotion, had become targets of hate and suspicion. The fear was palpable, a heavy weight on their hearts as they mourned the loss of one of their own, a man who embodied the very values of compassion and understanding that his murderer had so blatantly disregarded. As darkness enveloped the city, casting long shadows over the scene of the crime, the question that echoed through the minds of those who mourned was a simple, yet profound one. How could this happen? How could a man be gunned down in broad daylight, his life taken in a hail of bullets fueled by ignorance and hate? The answer, complex and multifaceted, lay in the dark undercurrents of prejudice and fear that had gripped the nation in the aftermath of 9/11, transforming ordinary citizens into potential targets of suspicion and violence. The wheels of justice turned swiftly, driven by the weight of evidence and the collective outrage over Balbir Singh Sodhi's senseless murder. Frank Roque, his face now etched with a chilling detachment, sat in the courtroom, his eyes devoid of remorse, his demeanor a stark contrast to the grief that filled the air. The prosecution presented a compelling case, detailing Roque's movements, his hateful rants, and his chilling confession. Witnesses, their voices trembling with a mixture of fear and anger, recounted the events of that fateful day, their testimonies painting a vivid picture of a man consumed by hate, his actions driven by a toxic brew of prejudice and paranoia. Roque's defense team, faced with an insurmountable wall of evidence and the chilling reality of their client's actions, attempted to paint a picture of a troubled man, his judgment clouded by the trauma of 9/11. They argued that his actions, while reprehensible, were not premeditated, but rather the impulsive acts of a man driven to the brink by grief and anger. The jury, however, was unconvinced. After days of deliberation, they returned with a guilty verdict, finding Frank Roque guilty of first-degree murder, a hate crime that had shaken the nation to its core. The verdict, delivered with a somber finality, brought a sense of closure, a confirmation that justice, though imperfect, had been served. While the wheels of justice had ground to a halt, the pain and grief over Balbir Singh Sodhi's murder lingered, a heavy weight on the hearts of those who loved him most. His family, their world shattered by his senseless death, struggled to come to terms with their loss, their voices choked with tears as they spoke of a husband, a father, a son taken from them too soon. His wife, her eyes reflecting a profound sadness, spoke of Balbir's kindness, his infectious laugh, the way he made her smile, even on the darkest of days. His children, their faces etched with a grief beyond their years, remembered their father's gentle guidance, his unwavering love, the bedtime stories he would tell them, his voice a soothing balm in the darkness. The Sikh community, their faith tested by an act of hate directed at one of their own, rallied around the family, offering support and solace in their time of need. They shared stories of Balbir's generosity, his unwavering commitment to his faith, his belief in the power of compassion and understanding. The city of Mesa, shaken to its core by the tragedy that had unfolded within its borders, grappled with the realization that hate, in its most insidious forms, could flourish even in the unlikeliest of places. Vigils were held, candles flickered in the darkness, and messages of peace and unity were shared, a testament to the community's determination to heal and to honor Balbir Singh Sodhi's legacy. In the years that followed Frank Roque's conviction, Balbir Singh Sodhi's name became synonymous with the fight against hate and intolerance. His murder, a stark reminder of the devastating consequences of prejudice and fear, ignited a movement for change, a collective call for understanding and compassion in a world often marred by division. His family, their grief a constant companion, channeled their pain into action, becoming tireless advocates for social justice and interfaith dialogue. They shared Balbir's story with the world, their voices filled with both sorrow and a steely determination to ensure that his death would not be in vain. The Sikh community, their faith tested but unbroken, embraced their role as ambassadors of peace, working tirelessly to educate others about their beliefs and traditions. They opened their temples and their hearts to their neighbors, fostering understanding and building bridges of communication in a world often divided by fear and misinformation. Balbir Singh Sodhi's legacy, forged in tragedy but tempered by resilience, became a beacon of hope, a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit to overcome adversity and to emerge from the darkness of hate with a renewed commitment to love, compassion, and understanding. His story, a poignant reminder of the fragility of life and the importance of embracing diversity, continues to inspire countless individuals to challenge prejudice, to speak out against injustice, and to build a world where hate has no home. Balbir Singh Sodhi's murder stands as a stark and chilling reminder of the devastating consequences of hate and intolerance. His life, tragically cut short by an act of senseless violence, became a symbol of the fragility of peace and the ever-present threat of prejudice that lurks beneath the surface of society. His story, though rooted in tragedy, serves as a powerful call to action, a reminder that the fight for justice, equality, and understanding is a perpetual struggle that demands unwavering commitment and vigilance. The echoes of that fateful day in Mesa, Arizona, reverberate far beyond the boundaries of that gas station, that community, that nation. They serve as a chilling reminder that hate, fueled by ignorance and fear, can rear its ugly head anywhere, at any time, targeting anyone perceived as different, as other, as a threat to a narrowly defined sense of normalcy. The turban that Balbir Singh Sodhi wore with pride, a symbol of his Sikh faith, his identity, his commitment to peace and justice, became, in the eyes of his killer, a mark of suspicion, a justification for an act of unspeakable violence. His murder exposed the raw underbelly of prejudice that festers in society, fueled by misinformation, fear, and the dangerous tendency to judge individuals based on their appearance, their beliefs, their perceived otherness. The tragedy of Balbir Singh Sodhi's death compels us to confront the uncomfortable reality that the fight against hate is not a battle won with grand gestures or sweeping pronouncements, but rather a daily struggle waged in the quiet corners of our hearts, in the way we interact with our neighbors, in the stories we tell ourselves about those who are different. More than 2 decades after Balbir Singh Sodhi's murder, the fight for understanding and tolerance continues. His legacy lives on in the countless acts of kindness, compassion, and courage that are carried out every day by individuals and communities determined to build bridges of understanding and to challenge prejudice in all its forms. His family, their grief a constant companion, has transformed their pain into a powerful force for change, dedicating their lives to promoting interfaith dialogue, challenging stereotypes, and advocating for policies that promote tolerance and understanding. Their unwavering commitment to honoring Balbir's memory by combating hate is a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit to find light in the darkest of times. The Sikh community, their faith tested but not broken, has emerged from this tragedy with renewed determination to educate others about their beliefs and traditions, opening their temples and their hearts to their neighbors, demonstrating through their actions the true meaning of compassion, service, and social justice. the very values that Balbir Singh Sodhi embodied throughout his life. The fight for a world free from hate is a marathon, not a sprint. It requires constant vigilance, unwavering commitment, and a willingness to engage in difficult conversations, to challenge our own biases, and to stand up for those who are targeted because of their faith, their ethnicity, their sexual orientation, their gender identity, their perceived otherness. Balbir Singh Sodhi's story serves as a poignant reminder that the cost of silence is far too great, and that the time for action is always now.